Hey guys, Decov13 here, and welcome back to some more Let's Play Fate Grand Order. So in the last one I said I was going to do the Fate Zero event in this episode. However, I think I've decided to not read through it, mostly because I did the event off screen, because, you know, those mission-based ones are such a pain in the ass to do for, like, Let's Play content. And especially if you guys saw Halloween 3 when I did it last year, I actually just did it all on live stream instead of trying to record it normally. And I don't really want to have another episode where I'm just reading through event stuff. I mean, I already did that on Summer 2, and I really didn't like how those went, so I'm not gonna I don't think I'm gonna bother with it. I mean, if you guys want to see someone play through the Fate Zero event, you can go watch I know there's another Let's Play of FGO going on right now, Tanner of the North, I think. He's doing it too, and I know he went through the entire Fate Zero event, so you guys can go ahead and watch him if you want to see someone react to it blind. As for me though, we're going to be moving on to the prologue for part 2. So, let's jump in. December 26th, 2019. And of course, I say I'm going to avoid reading something that's just all event stuff and move into something that's just reading. Well, this is important plot stuff though, so I guess it's not technically the same thing. December 26th, 2019. John has completed his mission. He repaired every singularity, saving mankind from a dire existential threat. The ray shift system, which let him fight the destruction of proper human history, has been placed on lockdown as of this moment. The servants summoned to Chaldea have been released from their contracts, their tasks complete. Save for Chaldea's acting director, Leonardo da Vinci, every Chaldean servant is gone. Vanished from the face of the earth.
Oh, Foo!
It's morning.
Foo!
Morning, Foe.
Foo!
Do I have an alarm and a doorbell?
Pardon the intrusion, Master John. Oh, you're already awake. Good morning, Senpai. You must have been exhausted after all that Christmas cleanup. I'm glad Acting Director Da Vinci gave everyone today off after we went a little wild last night. It's hard to believe it's been a whole year since we completed the Grand Order and prevented the Incineration of Humanity. Yesterday may have been our last opportunity to eat with the staff we've come to know so well. But we shouldn't be too sad about that. They all have great jobs waiting for them at their next employers. I was also told that you'll first be going back to your family's home, Senpai. Do you, know what you'll be doing after that?
What about you, Mesh? What'll you be doing?
I'm going to stay at Chaldea for just a little while longer after everyone else leaves. All of our medical data may be safely backed up, but we still have to finish dismantling Chaldea's summoning system, so... Foo!
Where are you going, Foe?
Foe? What was that all about? He's ran off down the hallway all of a sudden. I'd better go look for him to make sure he doesn't interfere with everyone else packing. Please, you just relax, Senpai. I'll see you again tonight at the farewell party.
I guess I'll be saying goodbye to this room soon. Maybe I'll go stop by the command room. Did you hear the news? They say the inspectors for the inquiry board are already at the foot of the mountain. Apparently they'll be coming up here by helicopter once this blizzard dies down. Soon we'll have a new director appointed by the Mages Association, along with 50 of their flunkies. Saying it's an investigation sanctioned by the UN sounds nice. Let's not kid ourselves about what this is. It's just a hostile takeover. All this time, the higher-ups of the association have written off Chaldea as just another observatory. But the moment they see its value, they swoop in and milk it for all it's worth. Maybe it's weird for me to be upset about this, but I feel sorry for Olga Marie. She'd never have wanted things to turn out this way.
Well, that's a surprise. You couldn't stand her back when she was alive.
I mean, sure, I remember how she used to yell about anything and everything. Plus, she was, well, incompetent. Messed up all the time. But still, when I think back on it, I can't help but be impressed at how well she did despite all that. Honestly, we should have been more considerate of her circumstances. Even if she was the daughter of a lord family, she was still just a girl fresh out of school who had recently lost her father.
I guess. But you just have to set that sort of thing aside when you take position of power, right? As the heir to the Animospheres, she should have had that stuff completely covered, no matter what her age or how recent her dad's death was. To be brutally honest, she should never have taken over as director in the first place, but she clung to the authority it gave her anyway. And look where that got us. Chaldea was nearly obliterated, and we had to beg the Mages Association for help to rebuild it. So it sucks, but if we want Chaldea to keep going, we have to let this new director take over. And if Olga Marie was still here, you can bet she'd be the first in line to hand off the responsibility, seeing as the alternative is having it shut down for good.
Hey there. Oh, hey there, Canada John. Taking a walk around Chaldea? Enjoy it while you can. It's probably your last chance for a peaceful walk and fond memories here. Once the investigation gets going, there'll be scary security guards walking around like they own the place. You know, maybe I should take a page from your book and go for a walk myself. This might be the last chance I'll get to go wherever I want around here without a security pass.
So you're staying here, Dustin? Oh, right, you were just an ordinary engineer, weren't you?
Well, excuse me for being ordinary. And this is why I hate talking with you upstart mage jerks.
An ordinary engineer?
Sure, not everyone who works for Chaldea is a mage. I used to study cosmic rays as a run-of-the-mill physicist before I came here. It was the last director, Marisbury, who offered me a job here. At the time, I was struggling just to get by. I'm guessing he wanted me for my experience with particle accelerators. First, I thought he was full of shit. But eventually, his earnestness and passion won me over. Before I knew it, I found myself out here in the middle of nowhere. That was 15 years ago. As far as I'm concerned, this place is my home now.
Is that so? I'm headed to London myself. One of the Clock Tower factions liked what they saw and made me an offer I couldn't refuse. But hey, if they start talking about making a new Chaldeus there, maybe I'll give you a call. We're not kids anymore, right? Nothing wrong with selling your hard-earned expertise to the highest bidder in this day and age.
That's just like you, Sylvia. You always were a real piece of work. But I appreciate your consideration, or at least as close as you can get to it. While you're here, Canada John, in second thought, let me just call you John. The inspectors are going to have some questions for you, seeing as you're one of the master candidates. And the Mages Association people are about 10 times more calculating and devious than Sylvia here. I don't think you'll be in any danger as long as Da Vinci's around, but watch out all the same. No matter how horrible they are to you, you can't lose your temper with them. Like they say, the only way to win is to not play. Just smile and nod, try not to let them get to you. Don't worry, just play up the goody two-shoes act and they'll run out of nits to pick soon enough. You'll be out of there in no time.
I agree with that. Besides, you didn't do anything wrong, John. If push comes to shove, we'll vouch for that ourselves. Given the circumstances, you took the best course of action possible, and did everything you could. We can all attest to that. So don't be afraid to hold your head high and tell them, "Yeah, I'm John, Master of Chaldea and Savior of Humanity. What do you want?"
Thanks, guys.
Well, hey, if it isn't John. How come you're not with MASH? This year's only got a few days left in it, you know. If I were you, I'd want to make sure I had as many happy memories as possible together with her before I left. I just wanted to say my last goodbye to you. Well, thanks for that. Too bad about the whole last part, though. But never mind that. I still have to finish writing this report. Got some last-minute things I need to take care of before tomorrow, you see. Anyway, you've got questions, right? Mind if I keep writing while I answer you?
Fine with me.
Great. No need to bother telling me what they are. Da Vinci knows what's up. The new director who will be here soon. The pending investigation. What's going to happen to Chaldea? So how about we review everything that's happened so far? In the year 2017, Chaldea detected an abnormality in Chaldeus, a simulation of the world as it'll be 100 years in the future. The light of civilization had gone missing from Chaldeus, which meant that it had observed the end of humanity. We hypothesized that the source of this abnormality lay in 2004, in the Japanese town of Fuyuki. We decided to send Team A, of which MASH was a member, there on an experimental ray shift. Unfortunately, the entire team was incapacitated in an act of sabotage, as were the other masters on standby. That's Chaldea down 47 masters in a single stroke. But then there was you, John, the 48th master. You were just a commoner selected to fill a quota, but you ray-shifted successfully. And so, as humanity's last master, the mission of preventing mankind's extermination fell to you. And that began the Grand Order, our mission to restore humanity. Chaldea went on to fix 7 singularities before finding the final singularity. There, they defeated the King of Mages, the one behind the Incineration of Humanity, and succeeded at repairing the foundations of human history.
Sounds about right.
That's right. You are the one who officially completed the Order, and who took back the world for mankind. The very world you're standing on right now. But your incredible legendary adventure has come to an end. It's time to return to reality. Frankly, it's time to pass the torch. We've lost 80% of our staff, and we simply can't continue operating as matters stand. So we're getting an influx of new staff from the outside. The formalities were finished about a month ago, and they just finished choosing the new staff last week. Which means they've now been discussing what to do about us for almost a year. This staff is practically knocking on our doorstep as we speak. In a few days, Chaldea will officially be under new management. A new Chaldea. That's right. We'll have a new director chosen by the Mages Association itself, along with the staff he personally trained. The new director is Gordolf Music. He's the heir to a fairly well-known family in the magecraft world. I'm told he spent pretty much everything he had to snag Chaldea and all its benefits. He probably did that as a show of power to let everyone know that Chaldea is now exclusively under music family control. The proceedings are already underway, and it looks like most of our current staff are being let go. But that's not the problem. He'll still be you, even if they kick you out of Chaldea for good. The problem is the UN inspectors will be coming along with them. Grand Order or not, there's no denying Chaldea broke a whole mess of regulations. Changing personnel without clearing with the Mage Association, disclosing highly classified information to low-level personnel, overusing servant summons which we were supposed to limit up to which were supposed to be limited up to 7 servants, conducting ray shifts without UN authorization. As far as they're concerned, these are all major crimes.
Even though we were fighting to protect humanity.
Exactly. Not a single one of us did anything for our own personal benefit. Couldn't even if we wanted to. In fact, seeing as we were the only humans left in the entire world. But unfortunately, that meant less than nothing to them. Sure, they could see what we were fighting against in the data. The year-long global blank. The traces the singularities left behind on Sheba. Unbelievable as the incineration of humanity might be, the Association had to admit that it really did happen. But for them, the data is just that. Data. All they had to say in response was, "So what?" As far as they're concerned, the whole world ended while they were sleeping. By the time they woke up, it was all back to normal. The only thing they can see is the scores of dead, the valuable master candidates who are injured, and the litany of rules Chaldea broke while this was going on. So this investigation is taking place to determine if these acts were deliberate. In the eyes of the Association, the staff of Chaldea is nothing more than a band of criminals. Of course, that's why I'm writing all these reports, to prove that this is all just a big misunderstanding. Since data is all they've got to work with, data is how we're going to cover our asses. Once I prove that everything Chaldea did was in order to preserve humanity, not to betray it, my work here will finally be done. Then the weight of everything he stuck me with will finally be off my shoulders. Including you, John. So that's why she's been sticking around. Oh, and there's one more serious issue you should be aware of, especially since it concerns you directly. The blast in the command room left all 47 of those masters with horrific injuries. With them all near death, we cryogenically froze them in their coffins. We've slowly been thawing them all out, one by one, over the past year. Now only the 7 Team A masters whose coffins were activating when the blast went off, again the entire team save for Mash, remain in cryo-storage. It's a good bit harder to thaw and revive them, you see, so we kept putting it off until they were in perfect condition. But once this investigation gets underway, we should finally be able to revive them thanks to the new staff who specialize in healing spells. And I'm guessing that once that happens, some of these Team A masters are going to take over as the new masters of Chaldea. The new director has been saying he won't need you anymore, that you will be relieved of your position within the year. Because he's already got his eye on the other masters he trusts from the distinguished mage families. Anyway, I know this is a lot to deal with, but don't you worry. I'll take care of everything. I haven't spent the last 6 months preparing for this day for nothing. I believe you mean we, Leonardo da Vinci. After all, I am the one who did most of the work investigating the Association's movements, anonymizing the spirit origin graph, and dismissing the servants. Not that it was especially onerous for me, of course. Holmes? Ah, yes. Precisely the sort of reaction I was hoping for. That makes all the time I spent hiding in the shadows worthwhile. Why did you have to let someone, even him, know you were here, Holmes? Sorry about that, John. The fact that Holmes is here is the toppest of top secrets. Why are you still here, man? I have not so much as included his name in any of my reports to the Association. As far as they know, Sherlock Holmes is never among the heroic spirits summoned to Chaldea, and I mean to keep it that way. I guess you could call this a kind of insurance policy, just in case everything goes south? Insurance policy? Indeed. In the event that we face an enemy we cannot see, we will need an ally the enemy cannot see in turn, hence our extreme caution. Of course, I am no fighter. Should things turn violent, I won't hesitate to retreat to the workshop. What about your Baritsu? Baritsu is strictly for self-defense. If armed assailants were to attack, I would only be able to protect myself. Whoa, easy there. Things may get heated, but they're not going to turn violent. The main reason I had Holmes stay behind was to help with something I've been working on. You see, Holmes is an even more skilled scientist and mage than his stories let on. So I figured he would be the perfect choice to help me with a little something I've been building. Look at this. Just an ordinary briefcase, right? But its contents are more valuable than all the treasures in this world combined. We still haven't finished moving everything around, so I can't take it out just yet, but we should be done in another 5 days. If my calculations are correct, and they always are, it'll be done before we have to leave Chaldea. I'll tell you what it is then. I most heartily concur. Now then, I think I shall return to the workshop. And don't worry. If a time should come when you are imprisoned, that is when I shall reveal my most secret technique. Thanks. So, like, Super Baritsu? Oh, come on, he was obviously talking about lockpicking. Any decent detective is an expert with lockpicks. Oh, storm's cleared. December 27th, 2019. The blizzard has come and gone. Now all that remains is clear blue sky. Before long, the pale blue is marked by the single black dot of an approaching helicopter. The helicopter brings important passengers, and the harsh reality that the end is close at hand. 44 visitors cleared and registered. All entrants are permitted to enter Chaldea by special exemption granted by the Association Board of Safety. Opening front gate. Welcome, Gordolf Music. Welcome, UN inspectors. On behalf of Chaldea, we thank you for coming. So this is it. I wonder what this new director the Mages Association chose is like. Gordolf Music. Male. 28 years old. Heir to a wealthy family of alchemists. At the clock tower where the Mages Association is headquartered, he is considered to be, well, about average. Much as the musics can boast a long familial history, within the world of magecraft they have essentially accomplished nothing. The only thing that sets them apart from the other mages is the extra bit of wealth they've accumulated by virtue of existing longer. Gordolf's barely just a rich brat, basically just a rich brat from a well-off family. Question is, why did someone like that end up as Chaldea's new director? I can't be certain until we meet him ourselves, but if I were to guess...
Oh! Oh! This is great! Better than great! I'm probably gonna end up changing that voice a little bit. I didn't have very high hopes for a lab out in the middle of nowhere, so you can imagine my surprise and delight to see how modern it all is. In fact, I think it might be even more advanced than the ones in London. What a bargain!
Speak of the devil, he's certainly got a boisterous voice. Just remember, John, silence is golden. Trust me, this is the sort of person whose bad side you want to avoid even more than Olga Marie's. Piss him off and you'll never hear the end of it.
Oh, and you must be the servant I heard about in the report. You know, I don't know why, but I feel like my voice is slowly slipping into like an impersonation of Richard Epcar doing Oliver in Fire Emblem Heroes, and I don't know why I don't like that. I don't know, it doesn't fit Gordo. I'm gonna keep going with it though until I can find something better. I thought that might be what I stick with. You certainly do look the part. Let's see, Leonardo da Vinci, was it? Not bad at all for a replica of a well-known genius. I always did prefer a beautiful woman for a familiar.
Your Excellency, I believe that remark could be construed as sexual harassment. Remember, that servant is, for all intents and purposes, the acting director. Though it amounts to little more than running a dinky factory out in the sticks, she has managed to keep Chaldea going in lieu of a proper director over the past year. It would be in your best interests to get on her good side. Why not lead with a compliment?
Koyanskaya, I thought I told you to whisper those sorts of things to me. Besides, I have no intention of getting chummy with a servant, no matter how beautiful she may be.
Why, thank you. You're only the last person I'd ever want to hear that from, but I'll take it as a compliment nonetheless. Welcome to the Chaldea Security Organization, Director Music. You must be tired after your long trip here.
Not at all. Aside from the month we lost due to waiting around for that blizzard to clear up, it was a most pleasant trip indeed. Now then, without further ado, Leonardo da Vinci, was it?
Just call me Da Vinci. Or Castor, if you find even that too much to remember.
Very well. Castor should more than suffice. I am told that you have been filling in after Director Olga Marie Animosphere and Acting Director Romani Archiman suffered some unfortunate accidents that led to them being unable to perform their duties. Your hard work is appreciated, but no longer required. As of now, I am assuming sole command of Chaldea. What's more... well, hey, there are those armed guards. Much as I hate to do so, I'll be taking all of you into custody. Immediately. Cool.
Easy there, Mash, John. Just play it nice and cool. My, what an unpleasant surprise. Custody, you say? Did I hear you right? I'm afraid you have no grounds to do so. Not until this investigation is over, at least. Have the powers that be already ruled that Chaldea is no more than a criminal cartel, and you've simply neglected to inform us? Because I am quite sure that if that were the case, you would have come with more in the way of soldiers. We are the mysterious organization that saved the whole world, after all. If there was a warrant out for our arrest, you would have come with a small army at the very least. But you only brought a paltry 40 soldiers. Doesn't seem to fit the task, does it? So this isn't something the Mages Association decided, but a call you made on your own, right? Why don't we get the association on the phone and see what they have to say about this? Or would you prefer I didn't do that?
What's the meaning of this, Koyanskaya? That servant is too smart for her own good. Didn't you tell me the only people left to Chaldea were a bunch of engineers and a master who was still wet behind the ears? I thought there wasn't supposed to be anyone here who would disobey me!
Yes, Your Excellency, that was my understanding when I introduced this property to you. But my report must have been an error. Sorry about that. I am afraid that servant is a reprehensible villain who doesn't know her place, and thinks she doesn't have to listen to those of us with the Mages Association.
Wait a moment, Koyanskaya. Wouldn't a familiar who doesn't obey a mage be somewhat, dangerous?
Come now, Your Excellency, that won't do. You need to be aggressive. Show these people who's boss. Don't worry. We at NFF Services specialize in just these sorts of unlikely situations. Even if worst comes to worst, we won't let them lay a finger on you. Of course, that is a special additional service, so it won't come cheap.
What's this? Don't tell me you're trying to shake me down yet again, Koyanskaya!
Your Excellency.
Yes, I know. Don't worry. I'm a man of action when I need to be. You've got quite the mouth on you, don't you, Leonardo? Just to be clear, this is far from the only personnel I brought with me from the association. Our helicopter will be back and forth, ferrying many personnel over who are still on the boat. All told, there are about 120 security guards who have yet to arrive. It would be all too easy to take over Chaldea with force, and I assure you, that is a decision the Mage Association would back wholeheartedly. We would be well within our rights to consider the entire current staff criminals, and to hold them all up and lock them away while we investigate Chaldea. Having said that, I would prefer to avoid violence, should that be possible. Most of you will be fired regardless, but I would prefer we part on amicable terms.
Hence why your having your men point guns at us and lock us in a closet?
As such, I will have the four of you kept in a single room. You will wait there until the inquiry board summons you for your individual hearings. During that time, we will proceed with our inquiry into Chaldea's activities while we begin to transition over to the new staff. How does that sound? I believe this is the most peaceful option on the table. I dare say you wouldn't get such a generous offer from another member of a wealthy mage family, like those blinded by their pride and brand ranks. They may think of those like you with no talent for magecraft as little more than slaves, but not me. And above all, I'd like to spare myself the tedium of torturing you for every little piece of information. I prefer to let Koyanskaya handle all that. You should be grateful that I'm such a gentleman. Just do as I say and you'll be released soon enough.
Dickhead.
I see. The Mages Association certainly sent us quite a piece of work, didn't they? Thank you for that breathtaking display of chivalry, Director Music. Now, may I ask you something? I'd like to know why you bought up the rights to Chaldea. Surely a little research lab out in the middle of nowhere can't have much interest?
Not much of interest. I'll be the judge of that. True, Chaldea doesn't enjoy the best reputation at the clock tower. I can't count how many times I've heard them saying things like, "Their magecraft theories are nonsense," and "they're just a bunch of incompetent frauds," or "they're a disgrace to the 12 Lords." To hear them talk, you'd think they were discussing a problem child they wish had never been born. But not me. I believe there's tremendous value to be found here. Chaldea shows real promise. Or at least it will once I'm instated as director. At any rate, when I learned that Chaldea was being broken up into 7 parts and auctioned off, I made my decision and took action. I used the entirety of the Music family fortune to buy all of Chaldea's assets and prevent its dismantling. You see, the clock tower people were desperate to get their hands on the technology they could bring back to their respective departments. But I just detest them. I couldn't stand to see them getting what they want. An organization needs all of its parts, just like a human body. It's barbaric to try to carve out its heart or lop off one of its arms. I wanted Chaldea in its natural, untarnished state, and now I have it. But I suppose there's an exception to every rule. The staff of an organization may be its lifeblood, but we won't be keeping them around.
There you go, John. As you can see, he's hardly the most formidable opponent we've ever faced.
Yeah, really. Oh, I know who this is. I believe that is more than enough in the way of pleasantries, Director Music. You are the future of Chaldea, and... oh, hold on, I'm trying to get the right tone. And they are the past. There is no need for you to reach any sort of understanding with them, nor for them to like you. More importantly, now that the Church is ready to investigate, I would like to begin as soon as possible.
Indeed. You make an excellent point, Father Kotomine. Oh yes, allow me to introduce you. This is...
a man who needs absolutely no introduction.
Pleased to make your acquaintance. My name is Kotomine Kirei. I'm a priest sent here to investigate on behalf of the Holy Church. I will be staying here for a few days until the investigation is closed. It's a pleasure to meet the saviors of humanity, people of Chaldea. I may not be here long, but I hope we can help one another out during my stay.
The most trustworthy man in Fate.
I can't believe Chaldea's disciplinary room is now being used as a confinement cell. You said it. If I'd known we were going to end up stuck in here, I'd have loosened up the purse strings when it came to its budget. Just look at these rock-hard beds, this obsolete air conditioner, this cut-rate lighting. It may as well have been a confinement cell all along. At least we're technically allowed to leave if we want, but still.
Yeah, at least our bathroom is separate from the dining area. Now, I don't care for that way the new director does business, but
I'm glad they didn't separate us, Smash. Me too. I'm still processing being placed in custody like this, but as long as you're here, Senpai, I don't have to be afraid. Still, Acting Director Da Vinci? I think I have a handle on who Mr. Gordov is now, but... those other two, Miss Koyonskaya and Father Kotomine. You still don't know what their deal is, right? I haven't been able to get a read on them either. I can tell they're not your everyday secretary and priest, but that's all I can tell. I can't get a read on their magecraft abilities either. All I know about Father Kotomine is that he's from the Holy Church, another organization that's long butted heads of the Mages Association. As their name suggests, the Holy Church is a mysterious organization based on a religion that has followers all around the globe. They see mystics as something that's solely under their domain, and suffer neither magecraft nor heresy in the name of their lord. Their mission is more or less to bring all human knowledge under their control. They were a lot more aggressive about that back when I was alive, but nowadays they seem to be playing their cards much closer to their chest. I'm guessing that priest must be a part of their combat team. Executors, I think they call them. They're supposed to be devotees of the Blade who spread God's teachings in his absence. That's all you need to know about them. These executors are both faithful and heretical, monsters who fight the mages and mystical creatures. They may not be a match for servants, but they are frighteningly powerful in a fight. True. I could tell that priest is adept at hunting and fighting. Or at least that's what Galahad is telling me. As for Koyonskaya, we know so little about her that it's almost comical. She isn't affiliated with either the Mages Association or the Holy Church. It looks like she was the one who may have convinced Gordov to acquire Chaldea. Aside from that...
She did mention NFF services. I've heard of them before. They made headlines in Russia about 6 months ago. They're a private military company. Mercenaries, basically. Word has it they're a group of specialists who never met a job they didn't like. I think they go around billing themselves as global kitschy business consultants.
Russia, The Mages Association doesn't have much sway there. So how did she and Gordov come to know one another? No, wait. There are a number of academics among the new staff. They're all from NFF services. In which case, they must be planning on reviving Team A with the new staff alone. What? That's insane! Don't they know how much constant attention and adjusting the coffins required during the unthawing process? We've done it more than anyone, and it still has a huge chance of failure even for us. There's no way people who've never done it before can just pull it off on their own. Yep, pretty solid chance they'll fail, and Chaldea's 7 A-ranked masters will be lost for good. Of course, that may be the point.
John, get out here! The inspectors want to talk to you!
Well now, looks like they're not wasting any time getting the interrogation party started. I'm surprised they kicked things off with you, though. Wait and see what their game is. Remember, silence is golden, trying to say anything more than is absolutely necessary. Got it.
Good. Case inspector's waiting for you in room 3. Just answer his questions honestly and you'll be released in no time. Don't even think about trying to resist.
I had no idea what they were even talking about most of the time.
You look exhausted, little boy. This is your first time playing with the big boys. Then you better hurry up and learn how the game is played. As they say, experience is every... Ah! Foe! Foe! Q!
Foe?
Oh, is this your cat? I'm sorry, I couldn't help but hit back. Q! Whoops, clumsy me. Now I've gone and stepped on it. But what can you do? This is how it goes when the weak attack the strong. Maybe once upon a time this thing was more impressive, but now it's just a puny little hairball. It's the way of the world that it finds itself under the heel of a stronger animal now. Don't you think?
Get away from Foe!
Ooh, so wild. How brave of you to bare your fangs for your little pet. It's even cuter how they're barely more than nubs. But I can't just let it go. No, no. Not after it went after my perfect skin with its little claws. Normally I'd break a leg or two so it knows not to mess with me again. But... I might be willing to let it go unharmed if you agree to chat with me for a bit. So what do you say? Care to swap secrets with little old me?
Okay.
Q! Now, settle down, little foe. Your owner and I are just getting down to brass tacks after all. Alright, now that we have an agreement, my dear John, here's my first question. How much do you know about Chaldea? I'm told you were scouted in some random country and brought here directly. But no matter how you slice it, you were born into a commoner's family. I bet you didn't even know the first thing about magecraft before you came here, did you? No, don't answer. It's all over your face. I see. So you had a strong aptitude for race shifting. I can't believe you came all this way on that alone. Do you even know where you are? They probably didn't even tell you which country Chaldea is located in, did they?
Now that you mention it.
You're at the heart of one of the most secluded areas in the world, one not in the borders of any nation, an unobservable mountain that's been hidden behind a barrier of magecraft for hundreds of years. Had Chaldea actually told you where you'd be going when they recruited you, I doubt you'd have ever signed up. I can practically see your protests asking if they lost their mind, expecting you to go so far away. Trust me, this place is as isolated as you can get. I could show you the 6 months worth of paperwork it took to buy this place to prove it. But never mind that. It doesn't concern you anyway. The thing I'm dying to learn more about is the original 48 Masters. Of those, 9 are still here. Mash Curelight, the 7 Team A Masters in Cryo Storage, and you. The other 39 have been revived and sent home. No doubt they went back to living their lives in peace. But the thing is, their personal information still goes for a very high price. And why wouldn't it? Now that it's been proven that race shifting is possible, each of those candidates is worth their weight in gold. But none of them are likely to fetch as high a price as Team A. They were the 7 people who were originally meant to save the world, not you. Oh wait, that's not right, is it? Let me rephrase that. The 7 people from whom you stole the opportunity of a lifetime. Foe! You! Okay, that's enough out of you, my little footstool. Think you can kneel for me like a good little weakling before the plane comes in for a landing? Now then, tell me, how much do you know about those 7 people? Don't tell me you've never heard anything about them the whole time you've been here. They're your great senpai, after all. I'm pretty sure even MASH knows a thing or two about them. After all, they were training together to be masters long before you even knew what Chaldea was. No way. You really have no idea? Never mind their magecraft affinity, you don't even know their names? You're kidding! I didn't know you were so cold-hearted, John. In that case, you really can't blame them if they wake up pissed off at you, can you? After all, you stole everything from them. Their jobs, their purpose, even their place at Chaldea. Foe! 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 Oh my, that was close. Come now, little foe. You shouldn't keep going after a lady's face.
Now keep going, foe. I'll back you up.
Keep acting up like this and I might just have to defend myself. Maybe by biting off your head. Then that would be it for you, and you wouldn't have any more chances to learn again, would you? Oh drat, look at the time. I'm supposed to meet Sir Gordolf soon. So on that note, I think I'll be on my way now. No more wasting time on a know-nothing patsy. Lucky for you, you're so ignorant, isn't it, John? If you knew anything at all about even one of the Team A Masters, I'd be rushing you off to grill you about them in solitary for as long as it took. But sadly, it looks like that honeylicious branch isn't available to us, so bye for now. And be careful when a beautiful woman comes your way from now on. Trust me, you don't want to find yourself falling for the honeypot.
God, what a fucking repulsive woman.
Foe! Foe!
She's gone.
Foe! Welcome back, Senpai. I see you met up with Foe along the way. He's been hiding out for a while, so I'm relieved to see him with you. Senpai? Is something wrong? Did the investigation go badly?
It's about Team A.
Team A? Now that you mention it, I never did tell you about them, did I? I didn't mean to keep it from you. We just never really had the time to discuss them.
No, I get that part.
That's true, especially since the 7 Team A Masters ended up not being at all involved in stopping the incineration of humanity. But now that they're able to be thought out, now they're about to be thought out, and we have nothing better to do, this seems as good a time as any to tell you a little more about them. Team A refers to the group of A-ranked masters handpicked by Chaldea. MASH was originally part of this team too. First up, Kirshtaria Wodime. The chairman of the Atmosphere-Controlled Astromancy Department, one of the Clock Tower's 12 departments of study, and the official Team A leader. He's the head of the exceptionally distinguished Wodime family, whose name and magical circuits have both been around for thousands of years. He's also Marisbury's top pupil, and is rumored to be a better heir to the lordship than Olga Marie. He was expected to forge a contract with the Lancer. In terms of overall magecraft capability, he was head and shoulders above the rest. Ophelia Famersalone, the prodigy of the Evocation Department. She possessed a special mystic eyes, so she wore an eye patch that really made her stand out, even here. She was expected to forge a contract with the Saber, but she seemed to be very particular about what sort of heroic spirits she would contract with. Kadok Zimlupus. Nothing special as far as mages go, but his affinity for race shifting was exemplary. His story is pretty similar to yours, seeing as he was the only ordinary member among all geniuses on Team A. But his kindness more than made up for it, even if it did descend into self-deprecation at times. Yes, I remember. Kadok was always concerned for others. Though he also had a pessimistic side, which bothered him as much as anyone else. He was expected to form a contract with the caster. He didn't have much magical energy, so he wanted to avoid a combat-oriented servant who would guzzle up everything he had before the fight even began. Next up, Scandinavia Pepperoncino. Yes, you heard me. Scandinavia Pepperoncino. Nobody knows his origins, and he's using a pseudonym, obviously. He was a freelance mage Marisbury recruited after they met abroad. Cheerful and funny, he always had a joke ready that kept Team A's spirits high. He was also the oldest member of the team. You could say he was a man a bit ahead of his time. He was expected to form a contract with an archer. He had an Italian air about him, but he was also strangely knowledgeable about Buddhism. Naturally, he also knew a lot about Indian mythology. He said he liked myths about cycles of death and rebirth. Akuta Hinako. She got her start in Yumina, in the botany department, which is tied to the studies of witches at the clock tower. She used to be part of Chaldea's engineering team, before her latent talents were spotted and she was added to the pool of master candidates. She was the kind of person who would have been happy doing nothing more than curling up with a good book from morning till night. But she had a strange aura about her that you couldn't help but notice. Come to think of it, Romana used to sulk about how she'd never come in for routine physicals. She was expected to form a contract with a rider. That was really important to her for some reason. Next, Beryl Goot. As for him... I guess we don't have to cover all these masters in depth. Moving on.
Very quick to move away from Beryl.
Last but not least, we have... right. David Sem Void. He was something of an enigma, really. A loose cannon, you could say. He even got himself banned from his department at the Mages Association. That would be the Folklore Department. Or Brishan, if you're wondering. They deal with otherworldly artifacts. It's an unorthodox field of study despite being led by the Clock Tower's Chancellor. Anyway, Marisbury had the highest regard for Daybet's talent. I thought he was a rare find too. There's only one, maybe two other people I recognized as geniuses even when I was still alive. And Daybet was right up there with them. He never tried to understand anyone else, and nobody else ever understood him. He was expected to form a contract with a berserker, though no one ever expected him and his servant to reach any sort of understanding. And that's every master on Team A. Quite the cast of characters, right? But don't let that get to you. If anything, they're the ones who should be timid around you now. They may have been your senpai a year ago, but now you're the senpai. You've got the experience to prove it. Team A is nothing if not a meritocracy. They respect people based on their accomplishments, and yours have been pretty incredible. In fact, if I were you, I wouldn't bank on getting any sleep for a week or so once they're awake. They'll be constantly bugging you to tell them all about your experiences and the singularities. Wodime has a great tea stash, as you'd expect from a noble. Kadok can be shy, but he's very studious, and is hugely into mythology. Pepe was a great listener. Even Akuta, who usually never said much of anything, would open up in front of him. Indeed. I have no doubt that half of Team A would get along great with you, John. Which is exactly why I'm concerned. Thawing them out will have a profound effect on Chaldea's future. Gordolf is moving full steam ahead with the thaw, but it'll still take at least 4 days to get all the equipment ready. I can only hope they finish investigating the current staff before they get started. I agree. Our term lasts until the very end of the year. So if the investigation concludes by the 31st, we should just be able to help them thaw out.
Only 4 days to go.
Foo! Right. Whether you stay or go, this is still our problem to handle. At least for now. If something were to go down, it'd definitely be on the last day of the year, the 31st. So let's just be patient, keep our guard up, and wait for the right opportunity. Sound good, Master of Chaldea?
Yeah, I'll do one more section. I think after this section I'll call it an episode here. December 31st, 2019. The once clear blue sky is slowly obscured by ominous clouds. This is the beginning of the end of 2019. Da Vinci still isn't back.
Foe! I know, Foe. It's been 12 hours since Mr. Gordov called for her last night. It's 4:30 p.m. right now. That gives us less than 8 hours until the year ends.
Pardon me. Oh, pardon me. Hello there, John. Mr. Meunier, Miss Demi-Servant. I hope you don't mind my stopping by. I just wanted to chat with you again one last time.
Father Kotomine?
My name is of no great consequence. Father will be more than sufficient. Very soon your 4-day house arrest will come to an end. The investigation will continue until tomorrow, but you have been cleared of suspicion. It seems the Mages Association wishes to have you arrested, but we of the Holy Church feel otherwise. We see the battles you have fought and the contributions you have made, and recognize them for what they're worth. My superior, Pontifex Noe, commended your accomplishments personally. He also told me to keep you safe from the Mages Association concealment system, saying it was the least we could do for those to whom we owe our lives.
Really? Then does that mean we're fully acquitted?
It does. I talked to Music, and he agreed to release Caldea's entire former staff from their confinement in just a few more hours. What about Da Vinci?
Right. The investigators called her in last night, and she still hasn't returned. Where is she?
Leonardo. She's a servant, so we can't afford to release her. We will unsummon her once she finishes helping us with her current task. This world is meant for the living. It has no place for the lingering dead like heroic spirits. Even the saints are no exception. The remnants of days past have no place in today's world, no matter what they may be.
So you don't think servants are valuable? Are you telling us that only the Holy Church is on humanity's side, and that mystics must be opposed in all their forms no matter what?
Not at all. Servants are useful tools. What I hate is the very concept of heroic spirits itself. What's Da Vinci working on? Leonardo has been hard at work in the command room as of last night. The procedure to unthaw Team A has already begun. Now that the coffins have been repaired, they were to be thawed by 4 p.m. today, so I expect we'll be hearing word of their success on any moment now. Leonardo will be on her way once that is done, but I am willing to at least grant her a last supper. By all means, enjoy your final meal together this evening. Once you are done, I will have you taken in my helicopter and ensure you return to your family safely.
That's...
Frankly, I don't trust you. Well, that's a shame. Here we've only just met and you've already decided you dislike me. Of course, if that's your decision, I will respect it. You are the master who prevented the incineration of humanity. Your instincts must be impeccable.
Operation complete. Coffin thawing successful. The coffins will be released in 3 minutes. Father Kotomine, please report to the command room. We are about to begin the resuscitation procedure. So the thawing was successful. Da Vinci must have pulled it off.
Indeed. She is quite gifted. Wish that I could overlook her secrets out of respect for her capabilities. But alas. At any rate, this brings us to the end. Doesn't it, John? I truly admire your hard work, your restraint, and your patience. More's the pity.
What do you mean?
Come now. You really don't know. All the miracles you performed are about to be destroyed at the hands of the very paragon of mediocrity.
Operation complete. Coffin thawing successful. The coffins will be released in 3 minutes.
Well done, Da Vinci. I'm impressed. We waste 3 days trying at this and nothing. You come in and get it done overnight. Maybe I should reconsider getting rid of you. I would hate to lose such a talented engineer. In fact, I just received word that my own engineers are having trouble with Caldea's generator. They seem to have no idea what to make of it. If you stayed on as my secretary, that little problem would go away as well. What do you say? I'm quite generous to those who obey my commands.
Thanks, but if that's my only option, you can consider this my resignation. I'm only here out of interest for Chaldea as it was. I couldn't possibly care less about yours. I'll be on my way as soon as I have dinner with the rest of the former Chaldea staff.
So it's like that? Fine then! You there, why aren't those coffins open yet? Hasn't it been 3 minutes by now? How long are you going to make me wait? I trust this goes without saying, but Wodime is our first priority. The crown jewel of the clock tower. We'll wake him up first and put him in my debt by telling him I saved his life. Yes, sir. Opening the coffin now. Huh? What the?
Uh-oh.
It's empty. He's not in here. There's no sign of Kirshtaria Wodime in his coffin.
It's not just him. There's nobody in coffins B, C, D, E, F, or G either. They're all empty. What's going on? We had vital signs in all of them just a moment ago. The coffin's contents can't be verified until they're open. There are any number of ways to make it seem like they're still giving off readings. Does this mean that, at some point over the last 4 days, someone opened them before I did and set them up and to give off false signals? But who could have done that? And more importantly, how did they get Wodime and the others out of... Warning! Warning! Has occurred in observational data. No past observational data found. Statistical response, forecast, and prediction abilities compromised. Unable to detect anomalies in observational data. Unable to detect any form of electromagnetic waves. Unable to detect cosmic rays reaching Earth. Satellite visual feed lost. Mauna Kea Observatory's transmissions lost. There are currently no observable celestial objects on Earth.
Uh-oh.
Did I hear that right?
What's the meaning of all this, Da Vinci? What's going on? I didn't do anything! What are those cracks showing up in Caldeus?
Uh-oh.
Pseudo-celestial sphere at Caldeus overloaded. Shutting down observation lens Sheba.
Now what's happening? Intruders! I'm picking up magical energy signatures at the front gate, gate 3, and gate 6. What the hell? There's more pouring in every second!
Snap out of it. We don't need Sheba to use our internal security cameras. Get the footage of the front gate and Caldea's surroundings on the screen.
Right. Putting up visual now. They're human soldiers! We're surrounded! There are black-clad soldiers all around outside Chaldea. No, they're already in Chaldea! Gate 3's shutters have been destroyed. This is Gate 3! This is Gate 3! We're under attack by an unknown force! Requesting immediate backup! The club brigade has been wiped out! I repeat, the club... Your Excellency, we just lost contact with the club brigade. Not getting any biometric feedback. What's going on? Nobody told me this sort of thing was going to happen. Koyanskaya! Where did Koyanskaya go?
Attention all staff. Attention all staff. Front and inner gates have all been shut down. All exit routes currently inaccessible. Please wait until functionality is restored.
They've taken over the gates. Now what do we do? How are we supposed to escape? This is the Heart Brigade. We need backup. We're currently engaging unidentified enemy forces. Damn it, what the hell are these things? They keep getting back up even after we fill them full of holes. Damn it. Stay back! Don't move! Stop! Get away! Your Excellency, we just lost contact with the 4 Flush. What are your orders? This can't be happening. All my soldiers are dead. What in the world's going on here? I figure I might as well finish the prologue in one episode, why not?
Senpai, those were gunshots. But who's shooting inside Chaldea?
So it's begun. Well, John, much as I hate to say goodbye, I'm afraid this is where we part ways. Be warned, those hunters react to anything that moves. I wouldn't leave this room for a while if I were you.
Of course Kotomine has some part in this.
Huh? It's locked? What gives? I thought he said he was gonna let us go. What the hell's going on here? Hey, guard! Who's shooting the place up? Shut up! I don't have time to deal with you right now. This is 3 clubs. Roger request for backup. En route to the Spade Brigade now. Hang in there until I arrive. If any Chaldea staff try to stop you, just shoot them. The hell? He ran off without unlocking the door. Now what do we do, John? We have to find a way out of here.
Senpai, you've been studying the air vent for a while now. Are you thinking of escaping that way? I'm sorry to say this, but that vent is very narrow. The only one of us who could fit through it is Foe. Foe! Foe! Foe!
What was that? Somebody just slammed into the door. Oh crap, the door's all dented now.
Please be quiet, Mr. Minier. I'm sensing several entities in the hallway. Although this magical energy density, it's almost like...
Don't tell me they're servants. Uh-oh.
Foe! Foe!
They're here! They're gonna break down the door!
Both of you please stand back. Senpai, please grant me permission to transform. If you use a command spell... I should be able to do it at least one more time.
I'm sorry, but no. Your body's just not...
Please, Senpai. We're running out of time. I'll be fine. I've been training for this all year. Even Da Vinci said I could still transform as long as it was just for battle. Please. I know I've only been able to help as your navigator for the past year, but that's exactly why I want to help you fight now. I can't just watch while everyone gets killed when there's something I can do to help. I get the feeling that whoever's behind this is trying to destroy Chaldea as we know it. Please, Master John, before it's too late.
Do it, Mash. She did it. But is she gonna be alright, John? She hasn't even fought yet, and she already looks like she's about to collapse.
I'm... okay. Never mind that. Hurry and get behind...
It's here! Wait, what even is that thing? Where'd it come from?
Initiating combat. Your orders, Master.
Alright, so yeah, for these sections in the prologue, we don't use our servants. We use guest servants. Alright, fighting against Oprichniks. We're gonna be seeing them a lot where we're going next. I don't think it's important to build up Noble Phantasm right now. And just being able to get a bunch of sea stars is nice. Fuck you, asshole. Fucking crit right up.
了解。はい、了解。
Go on, Mash, get a crit.
やー
Yeah. There we go.
これで倒します。
Should probably put better Mystic Code. Mash!
I did it, Master. I was able to fight again.
You call that fighting? That was way too reckless, Mash. It's obvious you're not ready for this. I saw how you used to fight when I was still working in the command room, and that wasn't even half of your former strength. There's no way we can let you fight like this. John, you and I'll need to... Uh-oh. Ah, now there's even more of them!
My shield is so heavy. Even after all that time I spent training. Why is this happening? Fall. Master, Mr. Minier, I'll draw their attention. Once I push them out into the hallway, you run as fast as you can the other way.
As your master, I'm with you right to the end.
But why not take him up on his offer?
This is the first time in a year you've been comrades in arms, after all. Thanks, Holmes.
Holmes! I hope I didn't keep you waiting too long.
My apologies. That is, as they say in modern parlance, simply how we great detectives roll. Great to have some really good backup. What'd I just say about changing my fucking Mystic to something better than what I have right now? Oh my god, I'm a fucking idiot. Oh well. God, they really fucked up Chaldea. Hmm?
And there you are. That is the situation we find ourselves in. Chaldea is under attack by an unknown military force. All exits have been sealed off, preventing any escape. Gordorf's private soldiers are doing their best to fight the intruders off, but it won't be long now before our adversary claims victory. Our task is quite simple. As we cannot escape outside, we will escape underground. Our adversary has yet to occupy the underground hangar, so that is where we will go. There we will find a shipping container in which we can take shelter. As it happens, I rescued 4 other staff members along the way and instructed them to head to the hangar as well. I would counsel alacrity. Move now while the hallways are still empty of enemy soldiers. Their attention appears to be directed towards the command room for the moment, but once they have seen to their business there, it won't be long before they find the underground facilities.
The hangar? Oh, you mean the dock we used to send cargo down the mountain? That would work as a shelter. This is great, we're saved! Come on, Mash, John, what are we waiting for?
Yes, that is our best chance, but...
We can't leave Da Vinci behind.
Senpai. Fall!
Are you kidding me? Holmes just told you the command room is the most dangerous place here! I can see you steeled yourself for the dangers ahead. Good. A word of advice, then. Go around to the command room by way of the L2 stairs. That will send you in the opposite direction of those black-garbed soldiers. I expect you will find Miss Da Vinci inside her workshop, but you will need to make your way through the command room regardless. Once you have met up with her, come straight to the hangar. Regretfully, I will not be able to go with you. Huh? You're gonna let them go off on their own, Holmes?
That's okay. Holmes has his own things he needs to take care of. Right, Master?
I'm counting on you to rescue everyone else. Precisely, Mr. John. Very well. I shall leave Da Vinci's rescue in your capable hands. Come, Mr. Minier. I can accompany you to the hangar, at least part way. Just me? But... right. Figures. Okay, Mash. John, sorry to run off ahead, but I'll see you two back at the hangar.
Okay, be careful, Mr. Minier. Thanks for doing this, Holmes.
Of course. Just make sure you both exercise caution as well.
Foe! Foe! Good, we made it to the back of the command room without those soldiers spotting us. Unfortunately, it looks like they've taken control of it, just as Holmes said. I don't see Da Vinci anywhere. She escaped to her workshop then... Wait, is that... Foe! Don't tell me you still haven't found that graph. If it's not on the main server, it must be hidden somewhere else. Remember, our primary mission may be to take control of Chaldea, but our secondary objective is to seize that data at any cost. You may be satisfied as long as you can keep killing, but I told you that data is more important, didn't I? I swear, this is what happens when you just go around slaughtering without a moment's thought. Oprichniki are supposed to be the best of the best, but you guys are completely useless. You can't even capture a lone servant. Ah well, at least we gained control of the command room. You all remain on standby. The Grand Duchess will be here any moment now. I trust you at least know how to welcome royalty properly.
So she's working with those soldiers.
So it would seem. Although she called them Oprichniki. Where have I heard that name before? No, never mind that now. Saving Da Vinci comes first. Let's stay out of sight and make our way to the workshop, Master. It doesn't look like the soldiers are going to leave the command room anytime soon. That's probably what's stopping Da Vinci from leaving. Hey there, John. Thanks for stopping by. I thought you might show up. I had no reason to think that, but now I'm glad I did. Da Vinci, thank goodness you're alright. Foe! Yep, I'm doing okay. Things were looking pretty dicey there for a while, but I made it here intact. Those things are awful, you know? No matter how many times you kill them, they just keep getting back up and swarming all over you. Now I know how it feels to be a lump of sugar getting mobbed by ants. Or maybe a piece of meat getting attacked by piranhas. Something like that. Anyway, so you went and transformed, Mash. Just when you had a chance to get your body back to normal, too. Now we'll have to start your treatment all over again. I'm sorry. I know you've all been so considerate of me. Don't worry about it. Can't really complain when John and I are alive now thanks to that decision. Now then, John, I think we'd better save the long-winded explanations until later. I take it you ran into Holmes. He's still here, right? I don't have to waste my breath telling that you need to escape to the hangar. I was planning to head there myself once I'd met up with you, but there's something I left behind. This is the one thing we can't let them get their hands on. It contains a copy of the graph made up of the data patterns for the spirit ordinance of all the heroic spirits you formed contract with to date. In short, it contains your bonds with them. As long as you have this and MASH with you, you'll be able to summon heroic spirits again. Though you will need access to a good ley line and a ton of energy to activate it, of course. Chaldea may not be able to get it up and running right now, but as long as we can make it through this predicament, we should be able to figure something out. I bet this spirit origin graph is what they're looking for, too.
Yeah, it is.
I originally moved it to this briefcase to keep it out of Gordolf's hands. Either way, good thing I did. Anyway, now that you and Mash are here, John, we can slip out through the command room. Mash, I know that your body isn't operating at its peak, but do you think you can hang in there for just a few more battles? Of course. It'd be my honor to accompany you, Acting Director Da Vinci. Great. Then I'll be counting on you two to back me up. We'll need to take out the soldiers in the hallway to make it to the hangar. We have no choice but to cut through the command room along the way, but I do not want to fight in there if we can possibly avoid it. As I'm sure you saw for yourselves, something is attacking Chaldeus. Ordinarily, Chaldeus should be protected by a powerful force field, making it impossible to touch. I'm still not sure what exactly is going on, but it looks like they've somehow managed to seal Chaldeus away. That means there's a chance Caldeus could be physically destroyed. Even a stray shot or ricochet could damage it. We have to avoid that at all costs. If Caldeus ends up broken, fixing it would be impossible.
Got it.
That's the spirit. This takes me back to our battle in the Holy Land. You've grown so much since then. Really now, you didn't have to come back for me. You would have been fine even if I was gone. But thanks for coming all the same. Which isn't to say I couldn't take care of myself. Now let's get out of here and head to the hangar.
Alright, we do have 3 Obrechniks to handle. However, we have Da Vinci now. And oh boy, is she gonna be fucking helpful. Let's start by whittling down the health of the big guy. Or almost just fucking killing him. Oh, I should have used yeah, that would have been a good idea. Alright, let's go. That'll get Da Vinci all charged up, and then we can just unleash our NP next turn. And win. Alright, let's see. Increase NP. Oh, I should use this. Golden little body would have been great. Alright, well, got all those, so. Unleash Da Vinci.
東方の三博士、北欧の大神、知恵の果実。我が英知、我が万能はあらゆる英知を凌駕する。都合のウニベルサーレ。
Alright, simple enough. I'm trying to remember what the next battle is. I mean, I'll know as soon as I see it. Oh, it's still just only assassins. I mean, still. Let me change my, mystic code. Yeah, as you can see, I've been doing a little bit of grinding in Battle of New York. I mean, let me just go Mystic Code Chaldea. That should be fine. This is the hangar?
That's right. This is where Chaldea stores various kinds of equipment and disposes materials it no longer needs. But that huge shipping container didn't used to be here. Well, what could it be?
John, Mesh, Miss Da Vinci. I'm so glad you all made it. Check it out. This is the container we're using as shelter.
I'm well aware, Miniere. Good to know you guys are safe and sound too. Let's go inside, John.
Ugh.
That container is made of a special highly durable material. It'd take a tank shell to even dent it. What's more, we set it up on some rails that'll eject it from the hangar in the worst case scenario. It might be a bumpy ride since we'll have to make the trip by sledding all the way down the mountain, but at least we should be able to make it to the bottom.
You got it. Now come on, everyone else is already on board. You 3 are the only ones left. Let's get going before they find us.
So you're all safe. That's wonderful. I knew Holmes could do it.
Well, all of us who escaped to the West Hall, anyway. Does that mean there's a wall of ice blocking the way to the East Hall? Everyone who escaped there is frozen solid.
What? But how? That shouldn't even be possible.
Maybe not, but it's true. I saw it for myself back in the command room. One girl froze the entire East Hall single-handedly. Hard as it is to believe, she's a servant. She must be a heroic spirit who was summoned outside of Chaldea. She was headed to the command room after freezing the East Hall, so that might be frozen solid by now too. A servant summoned outside of Chaldea.
Oh. But still, how? Dr. Roman said it was impossible to summon heroic spirits without the shield, let alone outside of Chaldea. I know, which is why the circumstances are so precarious. That heroic spirit shouldn't be here. This whole situation shouldn't even be possible. They caught us completely by surprise. We have nothing at all to go on at the moment. Which is yet another reason why we should beat a temporary retreat. We can call the Mages Association for help, gather intel on who we're up against, and...
Somebody! Anybody! If anyone's hearing this, please answer me! Anybody at all! Someone's still alive!
That was a survivor. I'm sure of it. He needs help. But which block could he be in?
Come on, what are you waiting for? Holmes is yelling for us to go already. We're out of time. We have to go now. I feel for whoever that is, but luck just wasn't on his side. We gotta forget about him.
You heard the man. Holmes is right, and of course I agree. We just don't have time. The only thing we can do for him now is pray that he makes it out alive on his own. Unless you two are willing to stay behind to help someone you don't even know.
Oh god, they're coming! They're coming! Ah! Somebody! Anybody! Oh, why does this sort of thing always happen to me? Damn it all! Who do they think I am? I'm going off goddamn music! The eldest son of the music family! I was going to lead Chaldea to glory! Yes, glory! That was supposed to happen! But now...
That voice...
So it's that music bastard, huh? All the more reason to forget about him. He's got no one to blame but himself. Why should we help a guy like that after everything he did to Chaldea?
You're not wrong. But...
Ow, ow! Why? Why do things always turn out like this? Why do they always turn on me in the end? This always happens to me. Always. Nothing's changed at all. No matter where I go, no matter what I try, I was always an outcast, a loser, a social leper. I knew what everyone was thinking. I knew they all hated me. But what was I supposed to do about it? I don't know why they hated me. I don't know how to get people to like me. But I tried. I did the best I could. I never had my sights set on first place, you know. I would have been happy with second or third. But, just look how things turned out. Forget third. I didn't even end up placing at all. Ow, ow, stop it! Stop it! Damn it! After a life of failure, I thought this would finally be my shot at success. But a loser is all I'll ever be, no matter where I go or what I do. Damn it. Damn it! I don't want to die. I'm not ready to die. After all, no one's ever praised me before. No one's ever loved me before.
Exactly like back then. I can't let this happen. Not again.
Understood, Master. Let's go rescue Gordolf Music.
Huh? Have you guys lost your minds? Why would you want to risk your neck for a jerk like that?
Sorry about this, Minier. Tell Holmes to wait until we get back.
Once these two have made up their minds, they won't budge an inch. But don't worry, my limitless universal genius will see us back safely in no time. Da Vinci! Let's just say today is Gordov's lucky day. Besides, I have to admit, you can't hear all that and then not help. So nothing ever went right for him, huh? Then this time for sure we make sure we get there in time. Isn't that right, John?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Minier, please watch Foe while I'm gone. Don't worry, Foe. I promise I'll be right back. Foe! Foe!
Let's go save the director.
Oh god! Oh god, I'm doomed! My magical pistol is out of bullets, and I've used all my talismans! Oh god, this is going to hurt, isn't it? That one sickle hurt like hell. They're probably not going to kill me quickly either. I've seen these things in the old records. They're the Tsar's Oprichniki. They're soldiers expressly designed to make humans suffer. Demons in human clothing. I don't know why they've come back to life here and now, but oh god, this is going to hurt so much. I guess I'm going to die as unlucky as...
Well, well, I'm impressed you managed to stay alive this long, Gordov.
What? You're that caster! And you're that demi-servant girl! And that third-rate master, John! What are you all doing here?
We're here to rescue you, believe it or not. Don't thank me, though. This was entirely John's idea. Not that I can really see a prat like you ever thanking someone. 4 black-garbed soldiers are headed this way. Your orders, Master.
Alright, let's save him. I mean, let's not be mistaken. Definitely not as likable as a, person as Olga Marie was. But hey, you know. Man, I really wish we had more time with her than just the fucking first singularity. Or, not really first singularity, but, you know, the tutorial singularity. Oh well. Stars, too. We can get Da Vinci all charged up and ready. Of course, all the stars went. Alright, you know, casters. They don't absorb stars too well. Oh well. Nope. And this'll take care of you, then we can just Flomo Universal on the next, wave. I'm trying to remember. One of them doesn't have a fucking break bar, does it? Oh yeah, but since we skipped the singularity, the pseudo-singularities, now in actual story we're gonna have a lot of enemies with break bars. Oh god. I don't know why I'm using golden rule now. Inherent wisdom is what I meant to click on. And let's just really drive it home here. Not that it's not going to kill. We saw that in action last time. But hey, you know, just to be absolutely sure. Yeah, like 70k. Definitely enough damage.
The battle is over. Gordov music is safe now.
That's a relief, huh?
What are you doing here? Do you actually think you helped me just because you saved my life? I'm the real victim here! They should have broken up Chaldea after all! The heroic spirit summoning system turned out to be a broken down piece of junk, and the supposed star of the show, Chaldeus, overloaded the moment I got here. Then I go and lose contact with the outside world, I can't find Koyan's sky anywhere, and to top things off I run into those Obrichniks! What sort of weakness have you brought upon us now? Don't tell me you went and destroyed the world again!
Destroyed the... I'm afraid you're greatly mistaken. We weren't the ones responsible for the incineration of humanity, but...
Don't you dare talk back to me! Just shut the hell up and start fixing this mess you made!
Alright, now I'm starting to regret our choice a bit.
Oh, just thinking about it is giving me the shakes! Come on then, get to work!
You see, I knew this would be more trouble than this Coleone is worth. Anyway, we really don't have time to explain everything right now. For the moment, let's get back to safety. I'm sure everyone else is on pins and needles waiting for us. You're right, we'll need to apologize to them. Still, I'm glad we weren't too late. Aren't you, Senpai?
Absolutely. Sure. Why not? Alright, now this one should be the tough battle if I'm remembering correctly. Yeah, there's Caster. Oh, this is the fun one. And by fun one, I mean, oh, fuck me.
I can't let her keep pushing herself like this.
I never thought I'd be forced to run a marathon on top of a mountain. If anything, you should be praising me for fighting valiantly all on my own.
Not a fan of long distance running. It's okay. If you want to sit down and take another break, we don't mind. But you should know that we're not going to wait for you another second.
You think I don't know that? Come on, pick up the pace! Before more of those Obrichniki catch up to...
Okay, that's far enough. It looks like you're not going to be crossing this particular finish line, are you?
Well, shit.
Koyanskaya. This is terrible. Those things have captured Koyanskaya.
Dude, read the fucking room, music.
I see. After my quick thinking let me escape from the command room before anyone else, she must have found herself all alone and was forced to give herself up. Poor thing.
No, Mr. Gordolf, the Obrichniki didn't capture her. She's the one leading them. I don't know why she did it, but I think she's the one who orchestrated this attack on Chaldea.
You're joking! Then you mean she's been deceiving me all this time? That she only traveled far and wide and worked herself to the bone so I could land Chaldea for her stake instead of mine? Damn it, you little minx! How dare you toy with an innocent man's heart like that?
Oh my, I think we have a misunderstanding, Your Excellency. We recommended Chaldea to you as a purchase with tremendous value. We were... we were completely honest about that. You saw its value, accepted the offered price, and invested your personal fortune. We assassinated your rival bidders to guarantee your purchase. As a result, you gained sole rights over Chaldea and its property, and we were able to complete our objective without the association interfering. That sounds like a win-win to me, but then you go and call me a minx? I'm normally very gentle, but that really ruffles my feathers.
I call bullshit the way you were stepping on my pet.
So now we're going to kill you all. It's time for all of you to pay up for everything you're worth. Master, Mr. Music, get back! Her smile is utterly false. I've never sensed such fierce bloodlust before. Ooh, I'm impressed, Shield Girl. I guess you really do know a servant when you see one. But don't worry your pretty little head, MK. I couldn't care less about other servants, so I'll make sure to kill you quickly. The only prey I really like to take my time with is one of the human variety. The ones I'm really fond of, I like to stuff and mount on my walls. In fact, I've got quite a nice collection now, if I do say so myself. You know how some people like to hunt foxes? It's just like that, only with humans. Gordolf isn't worth my time, But you just barely make the grade, John. I think you look wonderful on my mantle. Oh, but I will have to remove those unsightly limbs first.
Ah! Come on, John! Do something! You're a master, right?
Don't worry, I got these soldiers figured now. Mash, you just hang behind and back me up. If that's all we're up against, I should be able to... handle them yourself? I don't think so. Now we have the invincible Grand Duchess on our side.
I mean, I know she's our enemy, but
God, she's so cute. Death to those who would disobey the glorious Tsar. Eradication to those who would betray us. V, I wish this myself. I will curse them myself. We will reduce all good people to stone, to ice, to nothingness. Open your wicked eye, V.
That's the witch who surrounded Chaldea! She's a servant! She froze the entire East Hall solid! This is it! I'm really done for this time! You're no match for her, Da Vinci! She's got you beat abilities and looks alike. Ooh!
Whoops, sorry. I really should be more careful with my staff. But if you don't have anything helpful to say, how about you be a dear and shut the hell up? That said, John, I'm afraid Gordolph isn't totally wrong. She is a servant, and not the kind we know either. Make sure you're ready to back me up with those command spells. We need to settle this quickly before she gets serious.
I mean, I realize there are 3 break bars, but oof. Yeah, it's a good thing we're only supposed to get past the first one. Note that she only has 3 as opposed to the 5 of a normal caster. Yeah, she's just gonna sit there for a while. I think for 3 turns she just sits there, and then on the 3rd turn she unleashes like a really powerful attack, so be ready. That attack can really fuck you up if you're not careful. This is for 3 turns. I'll use it on the next turn. I forget how long Inherent Wisdom's Guts last. Is that 1 turn? It's 3 turns. Okay, yeah. Yeah, so I'm definitely going to use that now. Let's give Da Vinci the attack up so we can definitely take out the Oprichniks. Da Vinci chain going. This should also do some damage to the Grand Duchess as well. I mean, not nearly as much as it's going to do the Oprichniks, but, you know. I mean, almost 40,000 that did. That's not bad at all. And we got a crit too. Beautiful! Hell, I might actually finish her off before she does her stupid bullshit. Lamenting Duchess. Charge, yeah. Alright, so no, she does this anyway. Max HP minus. Oh, it just didn't even affect Da Vinci! Oh, that's fucking great. Oh, right, because the debuff immune! Oh, shit. Oh, man, I forgot about the fucking debuff immune from, from Golden Rule. Oh, that's fucking great. Because, yeah, that just brings you down to 1 HP and curses you, meaning if she hits you with that, you're gonna fucking die because of the curse, but... Whew, bullet fucking dodged.
It's useless. A servant from proper human history has no chance against one from the Lost Belt. She survived hardships in environments you can't even imagine. You never stood a chance. Though I will say you did pretty well, at least for servants from this cushy world. Yes, I can see she has quite the formidable spirit origin. But, and you know what they say, the bigger they are, the more common their weakness. Here, I'll show you what I mean. Thanks for being so incorrigibly smug. A bomb? Ah, better cover my ears.
Good work, the flashbang, Da Vinci.
An anti-spiritual body flashbang. She's a clever inventor, that servant, but I'm betting she's just about run out of tricks. Let's go after them, Your Imperial Highness. There's nowhere left for them to run. They're trapped like rats. Rats, rats, rats. There are a lot of rats in that house, too. All they know how to do is gnaw at their surroundings and multiply. And multiply. Still, I recognize that as one of proper human history's greatest strengths. If their strength lies in multiplying, we will show our strength in eradicating them all the more fiercely. Our world, the Lost Belt we come from, is a cruel and frigid place. How laughable to think they consider this mild environment cold. Soon we will show them what true hell is.
Alright, I think the next section is the last part. It should just be story only. Yep, on to an unprecedented journey.
We finally made it back. Everyone's okay.
So this is the hangar. It's a lot bigger than it looked in the file.
Just shut it and get in the container, Coleone. I can feel the cold breathing down our necks. Foo!
Hey, over here! Quickly! The ice is right behind you! Look!
Oh boy.
The enemy servant's closing in. I'll fight her off, Master. If I don't stop her here, everyone who fled to the container will suffer the consequences. No need for that. They'll never catch up to us at this pace. One more step and victory is ours. I'll bring up the rear. The rest of you...
Indeed. You were just one step short.
Kotomine.
What?
I'm sorry. Old habit of mine. You left your heart open, and that seemed the fastest way to end you. Servant or not, you can't survive once your spirit origin core has been shattered. Farewell, Leonardo da Vinci. With you gone, Chaldea's head is well and truly crushed.
Da Vinci!
Stay back, John. You little...
Oh-ho, you've got guts. Instead of pulling away, you're pinning me with your own body. Impressive.
Grab the case and go. Hurry. Do not let them get their hands on that spirit origin graph. No. We can't possibly do that. We can't just run away and leave you behind. Oh, yes, you can. I wouldn't have helped you if you and John weren't the sort of people you are. Goodbyes always have a way of surprising you, even for geniuses like me. I guess it's for real this time. No more getting lucky like in the Holy Land. Take care of MASH for me, John. And take good care of what's in that case, too. And not just because it'll be useful, okay? That graph is proof that your journey really happened. It's our pride and joy, both for me and the others who aren't with us anymore. I just couldn't bring myself to erase it. Oh, no, you don't. You're not pulling your hand out yet. You just killed a genius. Don't think you're getting off that easily. Go on, John. Hurry. The Chaldea you knew is gone now. But as long as you and Mash are alive, this isn't over. I'm positive there'll be a new Chaldea in the future. Ci vediamo, uomo universal. Farewell, John. I know it's a lot to ask, but don't give up, and do your best.
Let's go, Mash.
But...
Mash Curelight. John. Gordolf Music. That's the last 3. We're all in here now.
Foul! 3? Don't you mean 4? Where's Miss Da Vinci? Da Vinci's... She's
gone! That servant was killed in the line of duty. She went out in a blaze of glory. Now, shut off the waterworks, girl. Your blubbering is annoying.
I see. In that case, all we must do now is survive.
Well, sure, but how exactly do we go about doing that, Holmes? This shelter's only gonna last so long. It's getting colder and colder outside.
We go about it like this, naturally.
Do you all see those pipes on the wall?
Hold tightly to them and be sure to keep your mouths closed. It's about to get rather bumpy in here.
Wait, you don't mean we're going to escape in this container, do you?
I certainly do.
That is, of course, the entire purpose we had in making it. Not to worry, we've already prepared it to handle sudden changes in atmospheric pressure. Just sit back and enjoy the 6-kilometer sled ride.
That's fast.
What? What the hell?
Confirming their caster's spirit origin is gone. This just about completes our operation now, but I didn't think they still had another servant up their sleeve. You really can't trust everything you read in reports, can you? You're the one who planned this operation, Koyanskaya. What do you think?
Hey, this isn't my fault. I said all along I suspected they weren't telling us everything. Though I will say I didn't expect them to slide down the mountain in a shipping container. That was how they threw away their trash, right? The trip must have reduced those humans to just red smears on the container walls, right?
Please. This was obvious their plan from the start. They managed to keep that extra servant a secret. They must have something else up their sleeve. The Master, the Demi-Servant, Gordolf, and the 8 surviving staff members. That makes 11 precious human lives. Can I trust you to take care of them, Koyanskaya?
You can. This is a bit beyond the scope of my job here, but I'm willing to make an exception. I have my pride, after all. Besides, we need to make sure the humans are completely wiped out, don't we?
Oh god, we're sledding! We're actually sledding in this thing! This is ridiculous, even for us! Still, this should let us escape. Once we've made our way down the mountain, there should still be an association ship at the... Well, fuck. What the hell was that? Oh god, we're spinning! The container's spinning around on its side! Foul! Did somebody just snipe us? But where could they have possibly shot at us from? Oh god, the container's falling apart! If we get thrown at this speed, we'll... Holmes!
Don't worry, it only looks like a container from the outside. We will survive this. I planned for pretty much exactly this situation. I didn't spend the last 6 months modifying this thing for nothing.
Nice.
What is all this?
Hello and good morning, fellow Chaldeans. Well, I guess I should say it's nice to meet you all. I'm Leonardo da Vinci.
Hi, Da Vinci.
But since we're all friends here, you can just call me Da Vinci.
What? What the hell's going on? Well, we may have lost Da Vinci, but we gained a Da Vinci.
I got a new look. I'm a genius after all. Can't expect me to keep the same style forever. Or are you so struck by my beauty you're at a loss for words? Ha! Of course you are, you little devils, you. Let's just say this is the sheer unbridled power of a main character. Bit of a shock seeing me again 5 minutes after my tragic death scene.
Allow me to explain. That is a spare body Miss Da Vinci created for herself in case of an emergency. It's a rather low-cost solution, though unfortunately it has a commensurately low output. And so she is able to behave as though she is simply picking up where the former Da Vinci left off, even though she is a low-ranking servant who only just awakened.
You there, black coat guy, is just plain sucking at driving this thing. What gives are the spoilers? I was waiting for the perfect moment for my big reveal, you know. Excuse me, but is that true? Are you really Da Vinci? I sure am. Take a look at these glasses if you don't believe me. Mash, John, this may be the first time we're meeting, but I already know all about you. I inherited all the other me's memories, after all. I've really been looking forward to the day I can meet you all like this. I might not be quite as capable as a Renaissance woman as the old me, but I hope I can help you out from now on just the same.
If you've quite finished with your introductions, please get back to the controls, Da Vinci. Need I remind you that you are an artificial servant created expressly for the purpose of piloting this all-terrain void transporter, the Shadow Border. Without you, the Shadow Border cannot function at full capacity.
You really are a buzzkill, Holmes. You know I can't talk while I'm in the control tube. But this is an emergency and everyone's safety does come first. Guess I'll just go back to sleep then. We'll talk later, after things have calmed down. Good night, John. Good night, Mash. Good night? Senpai, who is that tiny Da Vinci?
I am so confused.
What a jump! That was a slope crossing impact, wasn't it?
Correct. I see you're quite the driving enthusiast, Gordov.
Why, yes, as a matter of fact. I don't like to brag about it, but I am something of an amateur racer. I'm a sponsor, driver, and strategist all rolled into one. Music the Phoenix, they call me.
Now then, we're about to reach the ice shelf. From there we'll head for the coast and the sea beyond. Coast? Oh, that's right, you don't know where we are, do you? Well then, take a look out the window, Mr. John. It's not every day one gets a chance to see scenery like this. Now, time for our last job. The pseudo-celestial sphere Caldeus. The miracle that leads to the root. The miracle that the Atmosphere family wished for and dreamed about for over 2 millennia. Part of me wishes we didn't have to trample all over this dream. But such is life. It is the job of adults to teach children the harsh truth of reality. Even the Tsar fears the celestial sphere. After all, changing the past via ray shifting is the one threat we can't counter.
So this is Caldeus. It looks just like an Easter egg. So this is the device I must freeze, Father.
That's right. That is what the Tsar wants. You must use your noble phantasm to defeat the traitors. You must bury this magnificent crown jewel of humanity yourself in a coffin of permafrost. What will you do, Your Imperial Highness, Grand Duchess Anastasia? Antarctica? We've been in Antarctica this whole time?
Although many nations have claimed this land as their own, the fact remains that it is the last frontier yet to fall into humanity's grasp. Chaldea was built right in its center, so that no nation could use it for their own ends. It was built on a mountain range hidden by an endless blizzard, or rather the lingering scent of mystics, and then further reinforced by a bounded field. It is the largest and only observatory of humanity on the entire planet, its location and secrets concealed from the moment of its creation. That is Chaldea, the security organization for the preservation of humanity. I suppose I ought to say that it was Chaldea. As of now, Chaldea has fallen into the hands of an unknown adversary, one who is trying to shut it down even as we speak. Trying to shut it down? Even as we speak? Correct. I've confirmed that as of 20 seconds ago, all command room transmissions have ceased, and all power output has shut down. Chaldeus is no longer operating either. The air conditioning has stopped, the inside temperature has dropped below minus 100 degrees. As loath as I am to say it, we must face facts. Chaldea is lost. We no longer have any means of taking it back, or even returning to it. Stop it. Please, stop it. I have to go back to Chaldea. Please, let me go back. It hasn't been taken from us yet. I know it hasn't. All my memories of the time I spent with everyone else are there. Nothing can change that. And Dr. Roman's room is still... Oh.
Stop that! What do you hope to accomplish by going back now? Go on, youngster, talk some sense into her!
Mr. John, would you mind holding Mash back from... Never mind, there's no need for that. Her body has reached its limit. I'm afraid that this is what happens when one transforms while one is unable to properly synchronize with one's spirit origin. All the duress you placed on your body comes back to bite you. At this point, she lacks even the strength to open the hatch. I would advise that you sit her down and strap her in before she suffers unnecessary injury. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, everyone. If I'd only been able to fight as a real servant.
This isn't your fault, Mash.
Senpai.
Oh, Mash.
Hang on, what's that?
Holmes, are you seeing what's outside the window? Of course. I've seen it since I took control. Nevertheless, it is hard to believe. One could be forgiven for thinking it's a bad dream. Pillars of light. Are those meteoroids? But we didn't get any reports from Panama. If there were meteoroids too big to burn up in the atmosphere headed this way, we would have heard. And what's with those trajectories? How can they possibly be falling straight down like that? An occurrence that defies human understanding, That tells us they cannot be meteoroids. I believe we can rule out debris as well. Which means this can only be something once relegated to fiction. For example, an invasion from outer space.
You're joking, right? Who could say something like that with a straight face? I mean, that would just be absurd, right? Or what, are you saying those people really were aliens? That they only pretended to be human in order to take over Chaldea? How can...
My apologies, but please do be quiet. We're picking up an external transmission. It's using the same frequency you did at Chaldea. Humanity. We have a message for all of humanity. This planet will soon be reborn as an old, brand new world. Human civilization was a mistake. The path of our growth was incorrect. And so I have made my decision. I will revolt against all of human history. Proper human history. We are about to fill this world with inhuman mystic secrets. We will restore the Age of Gods. To that end, the gods have descended from a far-off galaxy, and in their wisdom they have used 7 seeds to select new leaders. These leaders will remake this planet as they see fit, and the one who reigns supreme shall be given the right to renew the world itself. The life forms from proper human history will not be permitted to take part in this war, or even to view it from the sidelines. The roots of cosmic fantasy have descended upon us. Trees of creation have sprung up all across the land. Now, all of the old humanity's endeavors will be set aside, frozen. Thus shall you atone for your sins. 2019, the year that proper human history came to an end. My name is Wodime, Kirshtaria Wodime. On behalf of the 7 Cryptors, I have a message for those of you who escaped from Chaldea. No, rather I have a message for the scant few remnants of the human race. We will be the inheritors of this world's history.
Kirshtaria? That did sound like Kirshtaria, but...
Kirshtaria Wodime, the leader of Team A? Here I was going to take him under my wing, and this is the thanks I get?
Cryptor?
Now what is it? Emergency from the computer room. Emergency from the computer room.
Hey there, it's me, Da Vinci, the one controlling the border all by my lonesome. We're less than 2,000 meters away from the coast now, but I'm afraid we've got a little problem to deal with first. I'm picking up a ton of spirit origin signals ahead. It's more of those soldiers that attacked Chaldea. I'm counting about... well, see for yourself. As they say, a picture's worth 1,000 words.
Wow, that's fucking awful.
It is those soldiers that attacked Chaldea.
How can they even be that many? Damn it, looks like a whole damn division out there. The hell is this?
Foe!
They're covering the entire coastline.
There's no way our border here can break through a group like that. If we try to charge them, we'll all be dead way before we hit the water. Holmes, hard right. We'll have to give up on the ship and try for another observatory.
I'm afraid that won't work, Da Vinci. We're getting no response from the American base. In fact, according to the sonar, there's nothing to be found anywhere. Surely you can see that yourself. As long as we remain in Antarctica, we have no chance of victory. If the enemy forces who occupied Chaldea catch up to us, we will be quite finished. Our only hope for survival is to plow through that mass of soldiers and pray we make it out to sea.
You bet all our lives on that? What are you, an idiot? We can't possibly break through that army. Even if we did somehow make it out to sea, the ship is bound to be hijacked by now. It would only be a matter of time before they catch up to this broken down truck and slaughter us all.
That's one opinion. Mr. John, tell me, what do you think? Hey, Sherlock Holmes is a man of adventure, right? Quite right. This is an adventure, and one of the grandest ones imaginable at that. It's certainly not some boring escapade where we barrel our way through an army of horrific killers. No, this will be humanity's first made-craft voyage. To date, humanity has traveled to the moon, the subterranean world, and even through time. This voyage will be unlike any of those trips, though no less grand in ambition. The world we hope to visit is one that cannot exist without being defined, even as it lies in a domain beyond our reach. In other words, we will be attempting to travel to a world that exists on the negative vector.
What did you say? You can't mean...
Da Vinci, permission to use the paper moon. The Atlas Institute may not have cleared me for it, but I am quite familiar with its operation. After all, I got a rather thorough look at its top-secret manual while I was within their headquarters.
Try Hermes at the Atlas Institute, You detective types are always on the job, aren't you? Still, be honest with me. How good do you think our odds are of pulling that off? Better than if we tried to fight those soldiers?
30% at best, I should think. For that matter, I can't even be sure where we'll end up. If all we wish to do is to make it out of this predicament alive, I have no doubt that there are better options available. But if you have your sights set further than that, this is the one I recommend. I believe it will aid us in fighting this adversary in the future. Understood. Expanding Void Reality Observation Device Paper Moon. Expanding Logic Formula on the Shadow Border's external armor. Moving Existence Verification for Reality Space. Future Prediction Hypothetically Prove Mirror World Plane in 20 seconds. Relaxing Space-Time Friction Decompression for 0.6 seconds. Emergency processes all green. Looking good, Holmes. We're all set for our maiden voyage. Now then, little heads up for those of you in the cockpit. Your souls will almost leave your body for a moment, but don't worry, you'll be fine. It's just your average out-of-body experience. But if you find yourself saying stuff like, I'm floating, or is that my own body I'm looking at? Just reach out, grab your body, and hold on for dear life. As long as you do that, you'll come out the other end alive.
How is any of that fine? You just said you're literally going to kill us!
Foe! Foe! Master, I still don't understand what's going on. Are you sure about this?
Just another day at the office.
Now that's the John I know. Then without further ado, let's get started. Although this phenomenon intervention method we're about to attempt is one of the first Chaldea ever devised, we banned its use because of its extreme difficulty and danger. You know how ray shifting involves breaking a master down into spiritrons and outputting them into space-time as numeric values? Well, this way of traveling through space is the exact opposite. We'll be slipping through a crack in this world into a sea of time, completely erasing our existence from reality. We have a lot on our plates right now. An adversary that attacked Chaldea, those things that fell from space, the Cryptors. Like Mash said, we don't know what's going on right now. But one thing we know for sure is that they're all enemies, threats to humanity that even destroyed Chaldea. If we're going to do something about all this, we'll have to start breaking even more forbidden taboos. We are not handing over the future we worked so hard to take back to a bunch of newcomers we don't know the first thing about. So first, we find a way out of this mess. Then, we strike back. Well, let's get going, Master John. We have a new weapon and a new course ahead of us. Shadow Border, untethered from reality. Void Space Dive, zero sail. Unfurl.
And so begins part 2. I gotta say, so far we only have 2 of the Lost Belts available to us. However, I do like them quite a bit. They are going to be long though, so hopefully I can clear Gottard-Damarong, the second Lost Belt, by the time the Halloween event launches next month, because that is the clear requirement for it. So I'm gonna be pretty focused on just like drilling through these. I mean, I doubt I'm gonna do like 2-hour episodes all the time. I just wanted to get like all of the fucking prologue out of the way, which I realize feels like it might have been a mistake, but yeah, we have our next location, the Permafrost Empire, Lost Belt number 1, Anastasia. We will be conquering that in the next episode. We might as well show off the map we have here now. Instead of a globe, it is now the Lost Belt world. Yeah, we've cleared the prologue. A new cosmos has taken root. Humanity's last hope has disappeared into the void. And you can always go back and access the old stuff by going into main record 1 for the first 7 singularities, and main record 1.5 for the pseudo singularities. it kind of makes me wonder if after Arc 2 we'll get like a main record 2.5. I wonder about that, but you know, even in JP we still aren't like that close to finishing the Lost Belts. I say we aren't that close. There's only 2 Lost Belts left in JP. But still, I imagine they're gonna throw something else in there too. Because I mean, they divided Lost Belt 5 up into 2 parts, so hey, who knows what they'll do with the other ones. But yeah, on this note, I will see you guys in the next episode when we start tackling the Lost Belts. So, I'll see you guys then. Bye!